Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I wanted to do a video talking about my personal history with the Hellraiser movies. I know my friend Tony Talant asked me if I could do this video. Uh, there's supposed to be a remake coming out called Hellraiser Origins, which I have not seen yet. I don't know. I'm going to exclude that and just talk about the other ones. And also at the end, there was a movie that I saw that's probably one of the movies you never heard of before, but it's on Netflix. It's definitely worth checking out. It's not a horror film; it's a drama. But I'm going to include it at the very end. But I wanted to talk about the 9 Hellraiser movies, and just talk about my personal history. They had people ranking them from worst to best and stuff like that. What I want to do is just give you my personal history from when I first heard about the films. Now, growing up in the 80s, I just discovered Clive Barker. And Clive Barker, even Stephen King said that Clive Barker is better than him. And he has a very wild imagination. And it's like, a lot of people said it was tough making Clive Barker films because his imagination is just too big to contain into a movie. That's why his books are so well done. Now, I remember reading a lot of the Books of Blood. I remember in the 80s, 85, I think they did... I remember reading the book Rawhead Rex, and they did a film of that. I barely remember Rawhead Rex. I thought the movie was all right. The book was probably better. Of a short story. And I liked how he started the Books of Blood. He said, whenever we're all Books of Blood, whenever we're open, we're red. I love that line. Now, I never read Hellbound Heart, which I think was the book that inspired the Hellraiser movies. I'm real behind on my reading. I haven't done any real reading in a while since my dad passed away. And I used to rent a lot of stuff from New World Video. And they had a lot of, they would really heavily promote their films, especially if you got horror films. And they would promote their films way before some of the movies got released. Because I know, New World disbanded in like 92 or something like that. And some of the movies got pushed back. I remember they had ads for Punisher. I don't know when Punisher came out. I finally got that in 91, the Dolph Lundgren one, and saw it in Fort Detrick, Maryland, and I hated it. I remember seeing countless trailers for Warlock back in 85, 86, 87, all the way up, and it didn't come out till 91. I saw that at the military theater, and I like Warlock. I love Warlock 2. Warlock 3 was awful. And I did a video about the Warlock series, I'm pretty sure. Now, they had lots of ads for Hellraiser. And Hellraiser was a new Clive Barker film. And this was a really big one that people were talking about. And it came out on... it played in the theaters, of course. And in 87. And I didn't see it till... this was right around the time I went in the Army. Because some of this is... The first 2 films came out while I was in the Army. Well, that came out in the theaters. Can't remember if it came out. It came out in the theaters right around, maybe around Halloween time. I'm not sure. And I went in the Army like a little less than a month later. And I remember I was in basic training for till like, a week or so before Christmas. Then the whole base shut down. I was in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And we actually got to go home during basic training for like 15 days, which is kind of unheard of. And I know the drill sergeant said that they wanted to take us real easy on us because they're afraid if they took it too hard on us, no one would come back. And then when we came back, it was a real rude awakening. You know, they were still tough on us, believe me. Anyways, I was home. I think it was New Year's Eve, maybe, or something like that. I remember staying up real late. I rented 3 movies from the Family Home Video Exchange in Edinburgh. That was Lampman's place, and then, later on it became Papa Rob's place. And then it became, I think it's like a tax office now or something like that. And we used to go there all the time. And I remember that was probably one of the last times I went there. Because in the Army, I don't know if my dad still rented movies there or what. I remember renting 3 movies, and I stayed up late. I remember I rented Hellraiser, Witchboard, which is another one of the movies that came out around that time. And then old Eddie Murphy, an old Rodney Dangerfield movie called Easy Money, which my dad saw. I never saw it. I wanted to see it. And I remember around midnight going to my Aunt Dorothy's, and I think she was making sloppy joes or something like that, really late at night. Came back and I watched these movies, all three of them, all night long. My dad didn't want to see any of them. And I think Hellraiser was the very first one I saw, and I loved Hellraiser. I love Hellraiser, Witchboard, and Easy Money. Easy Money was a 9 out of 10. Witchboard was probably a 10 out of 10, and then Hellraiser was definitely a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Now, going back to basic training, it's a pretty rude awakening. And then I went straight to AIT. I remember some people were talking about Hellraiser. I already seen it. I remember this one guy said it was corny. He didn't like it. But I really dug the series. And then when I was going to the movie theaters in Fort Gordon, Georgia, that's where I had AIT, they were showing lots of trailers for Hellraiser 2. And it looked amazing. And after AIT, I had like a 17 days off, then I went to Germany. I still don't know where Hellraiser 2 was playing, because I was looking, I really wanted to see it in theaters. I don't know when it played, when it came out, and I missed it. And what happened was, a certain amount of time passed, and they had Hellraiser 2 came out, and it was an uncut version, and they had like a really gory opening scene that was like a made for the video, the introducer or something, I think. Can't remember. Me and my roommate Jeff Moscone were big Hellraiser fans, and we wanted to see it. And I really enjoyed this one. It's very good. And had to think, Jesus wept. I loved it. This was, people doing rankings say which one they like better, and usually 1 and 2 are the best. And sometimes they like the second one better than the first one. I give the Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, a full-on 10 out of 10. That was fantastic. Now, a certain amount of time passed, and I guess, from what I heard, New World Pictures disbanded, and then Miramax / Dimension picked up the series, and they released a big budget, kind of like a big budget American version called Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which I liked. I remember I bought I didn't see any of these in the theaters. This played in the theaters too. I don't think it played that long though. To my knowledge, it played maybe a week or two, and that was about it. I thought it was really good. I was disappointed because I remember, I got a copy of it from Steve Smith of Blackest Heart Media. And he had a beautiful print that he got from a Japanese Laserdisc. It was a complete uncut scene, but he said that there was a different version of the Club Massacre scene. And I really liked the movie, except there were some incredibly lame Cenobites in it, and that really hurt it for me. So I give Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, 8 out of 10. Now, Hellraiser 4, Bloodline, I loved. That played in the theaters too, and then I guess that the guy who directed it had problems with Miramax, something like that. He wanted his name taken off and it said Alan Smithy on there. But I liked Hellraiser Bloodline, Hellraiser 4 a lot. I thought it was a little slow in parts, but I liked the whole thing of like being in outer space and then old world and then present day. Like I said, Doug Bradley as Pinhead was still really cool. The Cenobites, there's one Cenobite that the guy was in that one on each side of this guy, and they kind of Cenobite formed itself again. That was really a very disturbing and cruel kill. I like Hellraiser 4 a lot. I love the stuff in outer space. I give that, because it was slow, I give that probably 9.5 out of 10. I really liked it though. Now, what I heard about this, I thought like the other Hellraiser movies were just in name only sequels. Kind of, but with little bits of Hellraiser put in there, or like Doug Bradley put in the movie. And then what I found out was the following movies like Inferno, Hellseeker, Deader, and Hellworld were all like old horror movie scripts laying around Miramax. and they wanted to keep the franchise going or keep the rights to the franchise. I don't know exactly how that works. I know when it switched over to Miramax that Clive Barker lost creative control, even though he's mentioned in the credits because, it's still using some of his creations. And that being said, we come to Hellraiser 4 Inferno. Hellraiser 5 Inferno. It's a detective story with some really bizarre supernatural elements in it. And like I said, they were just old scripts, and they just added little touches of Hellraiser in it, and then brought Doug Bradley in for a day or two, for a few minutes here, a few minutes there, to fill in some plot lines or some crap like that. And I liked Hellraiser Inferno. I was really disappointed with it. That wasn't a true Hellraiser film the first time I saw it, but I did like the movie. I give that probably an 8.5 out of 10. When I heard that they were just other movies and they just used the Hellraiser stuff to fill it in, it wasn't intended to be a Hellraiser movie. That really, when I just found that out today because I didn't know. That really lowered my opinion of some of these movies. Next is Hellraiser Hellseeker, which I really liked, and that one was I don't remember. I saw it once, and they had whenever I used to rent videos, back in the 80s in Albion, they had a place called Family Home Video or something like that. And these were back in the days in the 80s where you had to pay a membership fee. And when I remember we had to pay $35 for a lifetime membership at Family Video Exchange in Edinburgh. And then in Albion, we went down there and my dad said, what do you think? He took me in to look at the place. He said, what do you think of the place, son? And I said, well, that looks pretty cool. And he was saying that he was going to buy me a membership for my birthday. And so that was cool. So we had a membership there for the longest time. That was in 85, if I'm not mistaken. And this was it came out in 95 or 96. It was one of the very last of the new release movies that I rented on VHS. Because I think I rented that, and I don't know if I rented Scary Movie or not, but I rented that one. And that was one I couldn't find anywhere else, Hellraiser Hellseeker. I rented that, I liked it. My dad didn't want to have anything to do with it. I don't think my dad's seen any of the Hellraiser movies. He had no interest in it. And of course, now my dad's passed away. My dad's passed away for at least a year and a half now, And I liked Hellraiser Hellseeker from what I've seen of it. I remember they had a cool brain scene. It's really cool and gory. I enjoyed the film. I give that a full-on 9 out of 10. I liked it. And then next comes Deader, which I didn't see till much later. They released, there was like a big hiatus between the two films, like 10 years. And then all of a sudden, Dimension did release 2 back-to-back at Walmart. And then it was Deader and Hellworld. Now, Deader I saw off a bootleg. And I can't remember the story. Something about drug addiction or something like that. And I thought it was alright. Kind of slow in parts and stuff like that. Like I said, when I found out that these were just scripts laying around, and they just put Hellraiser in there for the hell of it, and added little bits of Hellraiser in it, that really disappointed me. I give that probably a 7 out of 10. Next is 7 out of 10. Next is Hellraiser Hellworld, which I thought was alright. Lance Henriksen was in it. It was in a virtual reality type game or something like that. For what it was, I thought it was okay. I give that a 7.5 out of 10. Next came Hellraiser Revelations in 2011. And that was supposed to be back to the original story of the Hellraiser movie. And they had a different guy playing Pinhead. Doug Bradley didn't play Pinhead. His makeup wasn't very good in the film. A lot of people bashed this film. I thought it was okay. I actually bought it. It was I think it was only $7 at Walmart. So I said, what the hell? I'll buy it. It's a new Hellraiser movie. And I liked it for what it was. It wasn't a whole lot. But, the Pinhead makeup wasn't the greatest in that one. And it kind of suffered because of that. And no Doug Bradley. And it was like I said, 75, 78 minutes. It was probably definitely the shortest of the Hellraiser films. But like I said, I got it because it was cheap at Walmart. It was okay. Once again, I'd probably give that maybe a 7.25 out of 10. I still liked it a little bit better than Deader, but I mean, it was okay. And that's my real history for the Hellraiser films. Now, as far as the remake goes, I haven't seen it yet. I might just do a regular review of it when I can. And that's my history of the Hellraiser movies. Now, there's the one movie I was telling you about that was a really good film you probably haven't seen, was a movie called Victoria. I just saw it. And what it was is, it has a very simple plot. I try not to use spoilers in my movie reviews. And with a very simple plot, it's kind of, I can tell you pretty much what happened. But I mean, I'm not going to tell you the stuff at the end, because that's really the spoiler thing right there. What happened was, this was a movie about a girl in a club who became friends with like 4 guys, and then they end up being in a bank robbery. It was filmed in like 2.5 hours, and it's one take. That's what really makes this movie amazing. It's a one-take movie. Everything was one take, no cuts whatsoever. And that's what makes it amazing. It's pretty good. After the bank robbery, something really stupid happens. And then something happens I don't like, but I can live with what the part I don't like, but the part that's really stupid was really hurt the movie. Because I guess after the bank robbery, it's not really a spoiler. After the bank robbery, he's supposed to act real inconspicuous. And they drove away. She ended up being the driver. They drove away, they parked in this one place, and then they said, well, let's go have a drink and celebrate in the club that they opened up a movie. And so they went down to the club. I guess they were supposed to blend in with the crowd and stuff like that. But oh no. 2 of the guys started take off all their clothes and started dancing like morons. And guess what happened? They got kicked out. And they were acting really stupid. And I don't want to give away any more, but that really hurt the film. It really hurt the film. But I mean, it was amazing that, everything was stretched out one take. It was like a girl in Berlin. Someone was in English, someone was in German. If it wasn't for them acting so stupid, I would probably give it a little bit of a higher rating. But as is, I give Victoria 8 out of 10. And it's available on Netflix. If you get a chance, you might want to check it out. I think it's worth your time. That's just my opinion, though. But that part when they were acting like that was really dumb. And there's more to the movie than that, but that'd be spoilers. I ain't gonna give away any spoilers. So that was my personal history of the Hellraiser films. I hope you liked it. Plus a little bonus review of the movie Victoria. So I just wanted to tell you all how much I love you guys, and hope you liked this video. Until next time, bye, please. Take care, my legion. And I know Tony asked me if I could do request if I could do a history of Hellraiser movies. I hope you like this video, Tony, my good buddy. All right, take care, everybody.